Lead the Way, a podcast for school leaders with author, speaker, and educator, Dr. Bill Ziegler.
I'm super excited to have Jessica Cabeen on the program today. Jessica is a nationally distinguished principal from Minnesota, an author and speaker. She's just an amazing person who leads every single day Ellis Middle School in Austin, Minnesota. Jessica, it's so great to have you on the program today.
Oh, thank you so much. I enjoy any opportunity to interact with you and engage with your listeners. So I appreciate this.
And let me tell you, listeners, if you're not following Jessica Cabeen on social media and learning from her, you need to be. Jessica, how can our listeners get connected with you on social media?
Absolutely. So I'm on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, Jessica Cabeen. And then I do have a website, jessicacabeen.com.
Awesome. I encourage you to follow her and learn more from her. We're going to learn a lot from her today. So Jessica has a book coming out called Unconventional Leadership. Jessica, tell us about that book and what it means for school leaders.
Absolutely. And it's such a funny story how this started. I get to work with the University of Minnesota and their Principals Academy and had an engaging conversation with an incredible leader out of the University of Minnesota where we really talked the difference between research-based practices and Twitter and the disconnect at the time between the two. And it really started thinking a little bit more deeply about that. And I feel like there's more bridging available between the practitioner and the professor. And so unconventional leadership is really taking a look at current social media trends and buzzwords and connecting them to research-based practices. I really feel like there could be such a connection. And Dr. Ziegler, you know as well as I do, sometimes when we go into conventions and talking with people, there's a population of people that are nervous about connecting on school, social media accounts or Twitter and finding that value. So my hope in this work is that can be a strong bridge, and not only just with school leaders, but then how do you take this into your practice with teachers, students, families, legislators, community stakeholders. And again, how do you balance all of that as a leader and wanting to have a life as well?
That wanting to have a life as well is so key in school leadership. We need to balance our lives. And you talk a lot about balance, not just in this book, but in other books that you write. Why is balance so important for school leaders?
Well, and to be very vulnerable, I grew up learning how to keyboard on a typewriter. I didn't have email until after college, and I know what a Rizzo machine is. So I'm fairly old school, and just the change with being so connected with our devices, with our email, with our cell phones, it's really has me thinking and researching about how do we as adults self-regulate all of this. And even though our device can be on 24/7, we have to set boundaries so we turn it off so we can continue to have a life outside of our job. Otherwise, we are defined by a label and we lose the ability to, become other things and to learn and have passions outside of our job.
And that having passions outside of our job I think it's really key because it helps us to get energized and refueled to go back and be a better leader in our schools. If someone wants to learn more about your book, where do they go and how do they get connected with it?
Absolutely. So it is being published through Routledge, so you can certainly check through there. I'll have it linked up on my website, and then obviously through Amazon, you can purchase it as well. But I'm super excited. It's also going to have connections to school leaders and educators that are on social media, and then relevant hashtags as well. So it's going to kind of get people some ways to step into that social media realm if they haven't before.
That is such a powerful message for school leaders. Jessica, thanks so much for being on Lead the Way today. And we appreciate how you are a champion for principals nationwide.
Thank you for this opportunity. Everybody have a great week.
Thanks so much for being with us today on the podcast. If you enjoyed what you listened to today, we encourage you to subscribe on iTunes, share a review, and share it out with friends. Thanks so much. Be a great leader today in your school.
You've been listening to Dr. Bill Ziegler with Lead the Way. Bill has great resources for school leaders at chaselearning.org. That's chaselearning.org. Thanks for listening to Lead the Way with Dr. Bill Ziegler.